Adam Gravitz Sports Show. Adam Gravitz Sports Show.
What's happening, party people? Welcome to the Adam Gravitz Sports Show. This is Jack. Say hello, Adam.
What's going on? Back from the July 4th long weekend. So that's good. I mean, the first day back from a long weekend kind of sucks, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Does it not?
No, it's getting back in the swing of things is not great. You know, you always want to be on weekends. You always want to be on vacation, right?
No, I mean, I will say, though, I went to a house party on Sunday. That felt good because it felt like a Saturday.
It's like having that bonus Saturday?
Yeah, it was bonus Saturday because then you could, like, drink as much as you want and do whatever and still wake up.
Whose house did you go to?
Friends? Like a friend of a friend?
Friend.
Why do you do this? I don't need to tell you where I went.
I don't know, man. I don't like these ruffians you hang out with. Hooligans.
You're so stupid.
Partying on a Sunday. Delinquents.
Yeah, sorry, you didn't party on a Sunday. You partied yesterday, which again, like it also sucks to have 4th of July on a Monday when you know the next day you have to go to like give work.
Alicia had off today for free. They gave her this day off.
Really?
They gave a bonus Tuesday off.
Yeah, I guess that makes some sense. Like I guess that's an interesting.
I think
move.
that's nice. It's a nice thing to do.
No, I mean some companies give the whole week off.
Yeah. No, there's I emailed some people at work at some company, and I got an automatic reply that said that they were off all week.
I mean, that is the first way to get like employee morale up, but like you know,
summer holiday.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, it's got to be nice.
I think every company should have off 1 week in the summer at least, and then like Christmas and New Year's off for free. You don't need to take vacation for it.
Facts. Well, now that we've hammered that out, what do you want to get into?
Well, we have a crowded schedule. We have a special guest, DC Sports Radio. I call him a legend. Steve Sully Solomon, who is on the show. We're talking about his candidacy for county council, and then we're also going to talk some sports too. So that's cool. That's coming up in a few minutes.
Okay.
You were complaining to me about the Wizards before I clicked record.
Sure.
We can talk about that. They made a trade to get some guards.
Yeah.
And we still have 900 small forwards. So that's cool.
and power forwards. And power forwards.
And the Big Ten now has 37 schools in it.
Yeah.
Going from coast to coast.
I mean, those are the two big stories. I think those are the two big stories. I don't think anything else really has happened, unless I'm missing something.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah. So which one want to get into first?
Why don't you get the Wizards off your chest? I think that's probably good.
Well, I mean, you can also chime in too. It's not just me talking.
Yeah, but the people pay their money to hear you talk about the Wizards.
Okay, so what do you want me to like? Okay, so what do you want me to say? Like,
well,
they made a trade.
Yeah, let's talk about the players in the trade and what that means for their floor and ceiling.
Okay, so they traded KCP and Ish Smith to the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
For Monte Morris and Will Barton.
Yeah, I like it.
So Will Barton and KCP are literally the Spider-Man meme. They're like the same player.
Yeah, but it's a different flavor of the one that we have, and we didn't like the one that we have.
The same player. Monte Morris had a nice season this past year. He's relative for NBA standards. He's very cheap. He makes like $9 million. Again, I'm saying very cheap, but you know what? He's making $9 million.
It's nothing.
He had a good year last year, basically starting all season in replacement of Jamal Murray.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say this: the point guard really with the Nuggets is Nikola Jokic. Like Monte Morris is not going to lead the team in assists. Jokic is.
Yeah.
He's a very steady player. He can shoot the three well. He's got okay height, I guess. He's like 6'2", 6'3".
He's the tallest point guard we've had in like 20 years.
27 years old. It's just such a Wizards move. Like, you would agree. Like, it was fine when I told you about it. You were like, okay, that's. I mean, it was kind of a guy that you would expect them to get. Like they don't want to take a chance.
Yeah. On
anything. It's like, great, we traded KCP, who we knew was going to be gone or a part of a trade, and Ish Smith, who was worthless anyway. I don't care about Ish Smith. Like again, Will Barton. He's an older version of KCP.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's a chucker. Can play some decent defense. And, okay, I guess he's a 2-3 player, like a combo player. And then Monte Morris, he is better than what we had last year, but that's not really saying much at point guard.
Well, they have to have something.
The move I actually did like was them getting DeLon Wright as the backup. Because like looking at the numbers, you're like, oh, you paid a guy $8 million a year and he averaged 4 points. That's not the point. The point is his metrics are through the roof. Like he's 6'5". He's actually got legitimate height.
Mm-hmm.
He's very good at handling, but also Monte Morris, I think, has like one of the top assist to turnover ratios.
Yeah, it was like 4-1, I think. 5-1, yeah, something really nice.
It's elite. But DeLon Wright locks you up on defense. And Atlanta, when they were in the playoffs, guess who got a lot of the minutes at the backup guard? It was DeLon Wright. He's a good, heady veteran. It's fine. Like, but these are such. I think you would agree with me. These are just such Wizards moves. Like, it's not. There's nothing wrong with them. But you didn't take a chance. Like, Atlanta got DeJounte Murray. Boston basically traded like the 24th pick, which is their first round pick, and two guys not even in their rotation to get Malcolm Brogdon. It's just, do you understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah,
like
the Wizards need to look. If you're going to give Bradley Beal $250 million,
do I even want to get into that? I mean, I fucking cannot stand Bradley Beal. I think you would agree with this. Like, it's such bullshit what this guy did. He tried to hold this team hostage. He's like, well, I know what I'm going to do, but I don't want to announce it. And, I want to be, I really want to win and all this other crap. No, you don't. You took every last possible cent you could take. Right?
Yeah. He's
doing nothing to help the team win. He's like, I want to be Washington's version of Dirk Nowitzki. I want to be like Kobe was in LA. They took less money at time. You didn't do any of that.
Didn't do any of that.
You took the most money you possibly could, so now we can't build a team around you, you fucking moron. And don't say you want to win when you've locked yourself into a team that's at best a 7 seed. So you ask me ceiling and floor? I guess I'll say their ceiling if everything hits. And by everything, I mean Porzingis plays 70 games. I guess nobody else gets hurt.
And Beal finds his shot again.
Yeah, Beal finds his shot. You would think he does. And one of Rui or Denny takes a legitimate step. They're the 6th seed. I don't think that's even argued. They can't get higher than that.
They can't.
Am I wrong?
No, because the other teams that are above them also got better.
Right. I mean, like, they're not going to be better than Miami. Look, we can name the teams: Miami, Toronto, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Boston. That's 5. They've all have any of them done anything worse?
No, and they still have.
That's going to drop them
you
behind
say
the
Atlanta.
Wizards.
You still have Atlanta.
Right, and I'm not even mentioning Atlanta. So basically, you're fighting with Atlanta, and I guess Brooklyn's a wild card. If Brooklyn, which I don't know if you want to get into that stuff, but if Brooklyn ends up getting rid of Kyrie and Durant, okay, you probably move ahead of them depending on what they get in return for those guys.
Yeah,
but they're not better than Atlanta, probably, like you said. So basically, they're still and then their floor, I don't know, right again, where they were last year.
Yeah, I mean they're
11 or 12 seeds.
They're let's say a 10.5 to 6.5 is the window.
And it's so frustrating because that's the thing. They raised basically what they've done is they've raised their floor a little bit. They're I guess their floor is 38 wins. And their ceiling is
44
wins. It's so frustrating as Wizards fans. If you want to chime in, I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's just, I want to blame Tommy for this, and I do think he bears some blame. But a lot of this is on shithead Ted.
Yeah, he's in love with Beal. He's in love with Beal, and I don't get it.
Why? Answer me why? Why?
I don't.
I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense. They're giving him top. They're giving him top 5 money for a top 25 player.
And you know what the thing is? Those are the type of teams that just get fucked in the end. Because
Now I know the salary cap will go up, but not that much.
Agreed. But here's the thing: this is what happens when you're scared. Ted Leonsis is scared because he knows he has built a franchise, an organization that nobody wants to go to. So he knows that no free agents are coming here, mainly because of him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, oh, well, I have to overpay.
And he squandered the COVID years. He could have tanked and collected first-round picks when no one was going to games anyway.
Again, he is the major problem with this organization. And we're fucked. Like, he has put, with the signing of Bradley Beal, he has locked the Wizards in to, at best, the 6th seed. At best. Unless there are just tremendous injuries all at the top.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, do you have anything else to add? Like, it's so frustrating when, like, you see free agency and it's like, we could have predicted this 3 weeks ago. Like, if you give me a list of point guards and you're like, which ones of them are they going to sign or trade for? Both of us probably would have picked out within the first 5, Monte Morris and DeLon Wright. Like, it just, anything, I mean, do you have anything else to say? It just sucks. It sucks when this is the franchise that's here in DC. So I don't know. Anything?
Yeah, again, like I think you said it all. The Wizards, I think in the end, what's kind of messed up, which is again an indictment on Tommy Shepard's picks, is that with the last 3 number 1 picks they've had, we're not sure if any of them can start. Like, there's still a lot of stuff in the air. Like, what are we doing?
The last 4 first-round picks, including Johnny Davis, none of them might start. Think about that. You've drafted 4 first-round picks within the top 15, and there's a great chance none of them are starting.
Yeah. Like,
you know what we have to stop doing? I'm going to tell you this right now. Stop drafting dudes based on their character all the time, too. That's what he's doing as well.
Well, I have no problem with character, but let's draft guys who can play. I have no problem with
character, but when you're taking a guy who's clearly because he's good in the community. I'm sorry, like, what?
No, but that's bonus points.
Here?
But the reality is, what they're looking at when they pick players is different.
I'm gonna say take no chances.
Yeah, let's swing for the fences. What do you have to lose?
They never swing for the fences,
and they never play rookies anyway.
But then why'd you draft Johnny Davis if you don't play rookies?
I don't know.
Why
do you draft Kispert if you don't play rookies? Like,
I agree.
He's like already our age.
I see a problem just like last year. You and I can both go through the roster, which we'll probably do on a later show. There are 11 guys that deserve minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to get squeezed out. And because you and I both know this franchise and we know how the Wizards despise young players and they love to play mid-level veterans over all rookies, Johnny Davis will not play. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, he's a rookie. He shouldn't get to play. Blah, 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 blah. You drafted him at number 10. Stop with the fucking baby. No. I'm just so confused. Like, why did you acquire Will Barton? Tell me. Like, Monte Morris makes sense. He's a point guard.
Mm-hmm.
Will Barton makes no sense.
Well,
none.
Again,
what? You're going to block Corey Kispert so Will Barton can play?
No, I think they got him as part of, like, the...
I know they had to do it for the money. I get that. Then how about reroute him?
Yeah, and maybe they will.
My point is, you understand what I'm saying. Stop acquiring mid-veterans at positions where we have a bunch of young guys. What are you doing?
Yeah, we don't need any more small forwards or power forwards. Again, leave it.
Do either of us love Corey Kispert? No. But why are you fucking blocking his path to getting any minutes? So Will Barton can play, and then what? You can trade him at the dead. It's mind-boggling how dumb this organization is. That's it. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Why are you So you draft Johnny Davis. So what? He's not a point guard. Stop saying he's a point guard. He's not a point guard. So what? He's going to play over Bradley Beal? Obviously not. So where's his minutes? So he's playing Bradley Beal backup minutes?
So that's like
we drafted the 10th pick so he can play 12 minutes a game?
Yeah.
Tell me if that... Does that make any sense to you yesterday?
And on top of that, you signed Beal to a 5-year extension.
Right.
So you're never
here's
the
only thing I'm thinking. The only thing I'm thinking is Beal's going to look at the situation and be like, this team fucking sucks. And in 2 years, you're going to request a trade and then get the fuck out.
And you've got Beal insurance.
There's where Johnny Davis... I'm thinking, and there's where Johnny Davis gets his minutes. But you understand my point. Like, Why did you draft Johnny Davis? And then you're going to get Bradley. Tell me where the logic is with this team. There has to be. The only thing I can think, and I think you'd agree with this, there has to be a consolidation trade. There has to be something somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, somehow we're ending up with John Collins, or we're ending up with somebody.
But why do I want John Collins?
Because John Collins at least. I'll tell you why I want John Collins.
He's like a less.
He's
a less interesting Kuzma to me.
Do you know how old John Collins is?
26.
24.
Okay.
He's locked up for 4 years. He's not going anywhere.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. Would you want to pay John Collins at 24? He's going to be 25 when the season starts.
Okay.
Let's say 25. Do you want to pay John Collins $25 million a year at 20? Remember, he's averaged like 17 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want to pay Kyle Kuzma at 28, who does not have good metrics?
Just because he's like our 8th rated like metrics guy.
You're not answering my question.
You're right. I think
okay.
Well, now that you've put in that direction, so we'd package up Kuzma plus a couple of our other forwards to get Collins.
Yeah, like Kuzma and let's say Kuzma and I don't
Kuzma
know
and
who.
Kispert for Collins.
Maybe I don't. Maybe you do Kuzma and Barton and pray to God they'll take a protected one down the line. I don't know. Because I'm not trying to get rid of I'm not trying to get rid of Kispert.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. He's already 30 years old.
Who, Kispert?
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I mean, you have to do
the Chris Winkie of basketball.
You get my point. You have to consolidate this roster.
Of course.
You can't have it how it is. So that's it. Like, I don't know. I think, when these moves happen, I think we both agreed, though, like, they're still the same 38-44 win team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's so frustrating.
Yeah.
They're not better. They're not worse. And even if they play awesome, they're not going to actually be a contender. So who cares?
No, they have no chance.
It sucks. I think you'd agree. It sucks.
Well, that's sports. Look, odds are your team is. Only one team can win it all, and odds are it won't be you.
Wow, thanks, Ted Leone. Such a fucking loser. You're the worst, bro. You don't say anything. You don't
I'm just letting you know that the fact is our teams are destined for not winning. That's it. You're cursed.
All right.
It won't be you.
I'm just frustrated.
I hear you.
Frustrated.
Okay.
I mean, there were some big trades. We can get. Do you want to get into like the Durant stuff? Do you want to get into the Gobert trade?
Sure. Do that.
Terrible trade.
Go for it.
The Gobert trade could go down as one of the worst trades I've ever seen.
Tell me about the Gobert trade.
Rudy Gobert was traded from Utah to Minnesota for five players and like 4 first-round picks.
That's incredible.
Mind you, 3 of them, I believe 3 of them are unprotected. One's a pick swap, and one's a top 5 protected in like 2029. And they by the way, the thing about Rudy Gobert, awesome defensive player. He's been played off the floor on the playoffs like multiple years. So while everyone else is getting like young, like athletic wings, Minnesota's like, no, we're gonna do the Twin Towers move. I just don't get it. Also, Rudy Gobert's 30. Guess how much? He still has 4 years left at like $40 million a year. I'm just saying, Tim Connolly. I know we wanted to. That was not a great move. I'm sorry. Do you think it was a good move? I mean, the Durant. Okay, what are your thoughts on Durant? I know we'll get into like the other means. What's your thoughts on Durant? I don't get it. Like,
yeah, I don't know what he's.
What's he trying to do? Like, I don't understand what is his end game. Yeah, like also, kudos to the Nets. I would play such hardball with them. It's like, oh, you want gone? Cool. Guess what? We have your contract for 4 more years. You're not going anywhere until we get exactly what we want. And if you don't like that, then you don't have to play, and we're not going to pay you.
Yeah, sit out.
So like, he has no leverage.
Yeah.
And if I'm the Nets, I don't give a shit what he's like in the locker room at this point.
No, who cares?
Again, 4 years left on his contract.
I don't know.
He ain't going anywhere.
Why?
I think he's sick of Kyrie.
He's just a weirdo.
Well, and also here's the thing: why are the Nets considering helping the Lakers? Like, why do teams do this?
No.
Like, oh, there's made some trap. Yeah, I love the Lakers offer. We'll give you Russell Westbrook, Talen Horton-Tucker, and a 2027 first.
Terrible.
The fuck are we doing here? What? That's the best offer you can get?
Get out
Hell
of here.
no. But again, if I'm the Nets, I'm not settling for a Phoenix offer of like Mikal Bridges and picks. Like if I'm going, let's say Toronto wants him, right? Okay. Offer's going to start with Scotty Barnes. You don't want to do it? Fuck you. Like, Philadelphia wants him, right? Okay, Philadelphia, you want him? Okay, guess what? Offer starts with Tyrese Maxey, God knows what, and like God knows what else. Like, I'm sorry, Memphis, you want him? Okay, cool. Then I want Jaren Jackson. I want like 3 and like 2 other of your top young players.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not giving him up for like, it's Kevin fucking Durant. He's a top like 10 player of all time.
Right.
But I just love it. He has no, and I mean no, leverage in this thing at all. So, also, is anybody surprised Kyrie's a fucking nut wackadoo? Like, no.
Not a surprise.
But like, I mean, it's crazy. Durant, I just don't know what's going on in his head. Like, oh, I'm requesting a trade. Congratulations, you signed a 4-year max contract.
Right.
Like,
it's not
cool.
It's not easy to move.
No, I mean it's easy to move if like you get what you want, but teams are trying to lowball you, and it's like I'm not just taking like Mikal Bridges and DeAndre Ayton. Like, I don't blame him for being like, yeah, we want like Miami. Okay, he wants to go to Miami, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me do a package led by Tyler Hero. What the fuck are we talking about here?
No.
If I'm the Nets, I'm saying, okay, cool. I want Bam Adebayo. You're not giving me Bam Adebayo? Go fuck yourself. Hey, Phoenix, you want him? Give me Devin Booker. Oh, you're not gonna? Nope. Like,
Yeah.
I don't care. What his attitude
let's just send
like.
them Bradley Beal and.
Oh, by the way, did you see that before we get off this? Bobby Marks, the guy on ESPN, was like, the Wizards are a sleeper. The fuck are we going to offer? What, Isaiah Todd and the draft rights to Nzoza and some, like, what?
It's like, do you guys?
Talking about,
I was thinking of the Workaholics yard sale where the guy was like, "I have straw hats."
Right? Like, how are we a sleeper to get him? Like, nobody wants Porzingis until like, get the fuck out of here.
Like,
it's hilarious.
It's like, yeah.
It's just so funny to read that like we're a sleeper. Get the hell out of here.
A sleeper for a
But no, I think
bag.
Durant's crazy. It's insane. But you also knew what you were getting into.
I mean,
Signing up
when
with Kyrie
your
Irving.
sidekick is a flat earthing anti-vaxxer, I don't know what you're thinking is going to happen.
Exactly. So anyway, I mean, the Gobert trade made like. By the way, if Rudy Gobert can fetch 4 first-round picks, shouldn't Kevin Durant fetch like 8?
Plus rights to the stadium.
I mean, Rudy Gobert, we're talking about a guy that can't score,
Can't shoot.
and can't shoot. I mean, I don't care about his 15 points a game. I mean, that's all off like lobs.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically like a super rich man's Daniel Gafford.
Mm-hmm.
Like, right?
Yeah.
He can't shoot.
No.
Also, you can pick and roll him to death. It's a very weird move by Minnesota. Like, I think they'll win a lot of regular season games because like it's a good regular season lineup.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you think they're gonna beat like really like teams that spread them out?
Like
No.
Milwaukee.
So I guess congrats to Minnesota for going for it, but like you've basically torpedoed your future.
Hey, they went bold.
You better pray to God Anthony Edwards is like Michael Jordan reincarnated.
Yeah.
Because you got no picks.
No picks.
And you had no bench.
Well, the fact is the Wizards are better off with no picks.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, what do we need picks for?
Anyway,
They're drafting guys who are never going to play here.
I do love NBA free agency time. It's just crazy, just some of these, like, we don't even have time to get into, like, all the crazy, insane fucking contracts, too.
Oh, my gosh. All right, well, let's, earlier today, I talked to Steve Solomon, who you may know as Solly from DC Sports Radio. Welcome to the show, Steve Solomon. Those of you out there may know him as Solly. But you could be Steve Solomon for the show, or you can be Solly, whichever you prefer.
You know, I've been Solly for 22 years on the radio. It's something I didn't want right away, but begrudgingly I accepted the nickname. So I'll always be Solly as the radio and podcast guy, but Steve Solomon too, which about 98% of people don't know Solly, so that's okay. But it's good to hear.
Well, we're such a micro focused show of both location and interest that I think everyone will know who Solly is based on our listener base, which is amazing.
If you're a DC area sports podcast, that ups my numbers. If you were like a West Coast pottery podcast, probably not so much. But good chance that a DC sports podcast might might have a couple people who know me, so it's always good.
Absolutely. I mean, if you've been awake and interested in sports in the DC area for the last 20 years, so they've heard your voice, and I always appreciate you being the voice of reason and the voice of the listeners on the show. And I felt like whenever you said something, it was succinct, to the point, and just spot on, which is why I think, as you're currently running for Montgomery County Council in District 6,
That's right.
You'll be the voice of the people there.
I hope
now,
so. There's no more
so
every man than me, Jack. I mean, I look like an every man.
And that's what I think. Yeah,
sound like an every man.
It's great.
Yeah, I try to. Whenever I got
do.
my shots in on the radio, Zabe always told me, like, get your shots in and get on out. So that's what I tried to do for all those years. So
that's perfect. And so District 6, that's Kemp Mill, Wheaton, Glenmont, Aspen Hill, Lay-Hill, Norbeck, Tivoli, North Kensington, and Forest Glen. This is a new district that came from moving from 5 districts to 7.
right.
So it's been kind of a mad dash getting the parties together and the people in the right places.
That's a good way to describe it. It was a mad dash because basically when I've been knocking on doors for months and months, talked to thousands of voters, and the first thing I have to tell them is what district we're in, because they just did redistricting statewide. They also did redistricting countywide. So I'm hoping you have some Montgomery County District 6 listeners whose ears perked up when you just said their neighborhood, like, oh, Forest Glen, Wheaton, Aspen Hill, because people don't know. So that's been the biggest challenge of this campaign. Not just any regular campaign's hard enough, but in a new district without an incumbent, explaining that to people has been challenging. So hopefully it's paid off enough that I can win this thing, but who the heck knows?
Yeah, you're going to do your best. I think where you can come into play again is the everyman. Again, looking at your issues. And I can relate, and I definitely understand these issues. What's nice about county council and the council, the county level politics, is that it's really, let's not use a cliche, but like kitchen table stuff. It's like, hey, deer on the road, potholes, snow day. What are we doing out there? So, a couple things sparked my interest as someone who cares about the environment and sustainable construction. I know one of your policy items that you want to focus on is new construction and energy efficiency. Can you talk about how you're going to encourage increased use of solar panels and renewable energy for new construction projects? And would that be full county level, or would that be going across any kind of construction, whether it's private or county construction?
Well, first of all, county level, because when I tried to think of issues in a platform, it's really hard to focus on stuff. You also want to have stuff that people can identify with. I mean, fix all the schools, great education. I didn't want to give like grandiose plans that I knew weren't going to happen. So one thing I found out about when I ran for Board of Education before and council once before, is that we didn't have solar panels on schools and on any new county construction. We put up a brand new firehouse right here in Glenmont, which is my closest firehouse. It's beautiful. They've got a lot of land, but they don't have panels either. And I don't know how it works logistically. Maybe an engineer could tell me with a firehouse, but like, I thought, if we put up new construction by the county and it's feasible and makes sense to put solar, especially if schools are the best example because they're flatter, large footprint of area, could very well be a net neutral type of place and put panels on. No one probably likes putting, I don't know the cost of putting panels on an entire school. It's probably a lot, but it would pay itself off eventually in the long run. Like anyone who puts panels on their house, it's expensive. We haven't done it because it's pretty expensive. We're waiting for the roof to go, and then we'll probably do them at the same time. But it's expensive. But the county's got a lot of money, and they should be, as most businesses should be, very forward thinking. And if you could do this now and in 20 years, like, oh, our schools are not churning Pepco bills like other houses are, and we're actually doing some good for the environment. I mean, our county does a lot of great things environmentally. I mean, we have right in front of, if you're on county trash, county recycling, county cardboard, we do a lot that other places don't do. So I'm not saying we don't do a good job in this county, but that's one issue I saw that's pretty glaring. It'd be relatively easy to legislate. I think most people would be on board for that. And it's something I could actually get done is put panels on schools. Because we can and we should. Yeah,
and I think you'd have the buying power too, right? Because you have that amount of real estate to cover. Again, I think in Montgomery County, going back to 2007, it's been mandated that buildings are LEED silver, but they don't tell you how you get there. So I wonder if you could, it'd be like an amendment to that you could legislate.
Incentives are there depending on what you do and how much you do of it. I mean, we've amended with a county environmental plan that by 2035 they want to reduce all fuel usage, but it's very challenging to do these things, obviously. But my idea is one that I think is feasible. We've got a big budget. It's $6.3 billion. And in our capital improvement projects, the ones that we do, construction, roads, large scale projects, those are like 6-year plans, very large plans that look into the future. And that's something where you could sneak this into the budget. It's not something that's so over, because I think we have 83 current school projects in some capacity, like 1 out of every 3 schools has something going on, new handicap ramps, fix the mold and stuff like that. So it's always.
I hope we don't have too much mold, but yes.
No mold, asbestos. No, I hope we don't have any of that. But there still is. There's asbestos still in places. It's remarkable that they have to.
Well, asbestos is fine as long as you don't touch it.
Well, you can't have it in buildings where people live, right? So, but they have all sorts of ongoing projects. So that's just one that I thought would be a no-brainer.
I like that a lot. And sticking along with maybe those lines, infrastructure improvement, potholes, and how would you prioritize? Again, there's potholes everywhere. So again, I know there's a prioritization system and a cycle. I guess I know in my street they've been replacing gas pipe for like the last year and a half, and so my road goes from being kind of 20-year-old potholes to then being completely obliterated for like 2 months. And then it's like an ice skating rink. It's fantastic. It's so smooth and delightful. I guess how do you balance that with then going through and maybe getting to some places that have been seemingly forgotten? How do you find those folks?
I mean, there's thousands of miles of roads just in our district. I mean, I've walked and scootered along hundreds of miles. I put hundreds of miles on my shoes over the last several months, and all the roads that are not the numbered roads in our area, Randolph, Connecticut, Georgia, Veers Mill, those are all state roads. The state has to pay to fix those, to put in crosswalks, to fix all that stuff is state run. But everything else is a county road. The road most of us live on, that I live on, that you live on, is a in a single family home neighborhood kind of thing, or apartments or condos. And a lot of them were in such bad shape. This was an idea of mine before I even walked the entire district. So I thought that this is really something that bothers people. We all drive or bike or walk on these roads and sidewalks. We're a wealthy county. We literally are a 1%er. We're in the top 1% of counties in the country in terms of wealth. So we should have good roads and good sidewalks. And to me, a lot of the big problem was also communication. As you said, the county might have on schedule, 2026, Jack's Road is going to be repaved because it hasn't been paved since 2013. Now, it's not really happening. But but Pepco doesn't know that. Pepco's like, 2026 in 2 months, we're going to dig that up and redo a line. There's not enough communication, which boggled my mind, between the DOT, the Department of Transportation, and the county, and Pepco or WSSC. Literally, like a road that was paved a couple years ago in my neighborhood. I know they have to do it, but WSSC was digging and they draw the lines, they come back, they scrape. It's. I'm like, this can't be happening. And I understand occasionally it happening, but if there was better communication, to me, between the utilities and the county, we could get these things done at the same time. I don't know the engineering of it. Obviously, when you repave a road for the county, they don't care about Pepco or WSSC. And, it's like, if they got a problem, they'll fix it later on. That doesn't make sense to me. And I think if that's something we can work on and be more, symbiotic about working together with those things, I think we'd be in better shape. And I hope to do that if I'm a councilman.
Perfect. And now, so just for those of you looking for more information, you can check out votestevesolomon.com. The early voting in the area is July 7th through July 14th, and Election Day is Tuesday, July 19th. Yeah. You can vote for Steve Solomon. You can get a yard sign like me.
That's right. You were generous enough
to donate to
put up a yard sign.
Some real estate for you. So
that's right.
Let's talk sports, because I feel like it's like I'd be doing the wrong thing not talking to you about sports.
I know. I don't want to bore your listeners too much. Like council politics.
That's normally my job. No, but I will say, I think I told you, there was a long run where all we talked was politics. So there's definitely precedent on the show to be political.
Okay.
usually about my Twitter trolling and things, but it's fine. So I think that for me, that there's so many things going on in sports despite not having a lot of active games happening.
Right. So usually summertime, dead time, was always the come up with topics time. But now
let's talk about TV shows. I mean, The Boys, we talk about TV a lot. But one thing that is going on that's kind of remarkable is the changing landscape in college sports, in particular with USC and UCLA declaring to the Big Ten, creating this coast-to-coast mega conference. Like, are we headed towards just two giant conferences where there's like 40 teams each, and it's like, what is this? Like, what are we doing here? Where do you see happening in the context of the world of college
it's hard
sports?
to predict because the last two major shakeups, I think, came out of nowhere, even to pundits or insiders. Like this news last week with USC, UCLA, I didn't see anyone writing, oh, wait for it, two big Pac-10 teams might be, but I didn't see that. And when Texas and Oklahoma went to the SEC, I was shocked as well. So, when you're a Terp, I'm a Terp. When our Terps went to the Big Ten a few years ago, a lot of people like, oh no, the ACC tradition, we're not going to play Carolina and Duke anymore and all that. But I was like, Big Ten, we get to play Ohio State and Michigan State and Michigan in football. This will be great. They'll kick our behinds, but it'll still be fun and good for business. So I knew it was a money move. I mean, they basically said it was a money move.
They were broken about to cancel sports, and now we have a giant. I mean, the new Coalfield House is amazing. The facilities.
We had the logo was always like 27 teams. I remember that was always the and then they were like, we got to cut diving and swimming and girls field hockey. I'm like, so money even at Maryland, which I don't know endowments or state funding or all that for colleges. But I'm like, really? Don't we have we're good enough in football and basketball to make money. That's how these sports survive. So, but yeah, I know the Big Ten move has been great financially. Rutgers and Maryland probably couldn't be happier.
Oh my gosh! Right?
You're right. I mean, it's you maybe you get your behinds kicked every year in football and maybe basketball, but it's better. It's better for recruiting. It's better for the school. But yeah, and which is why I don't understand the moves. You still don't want to make money, but I'm like, weren't Texas and Oklahoma raking in the money in the Big 12? I guess not enough because they went to the SEC.
Well, they didn't have the TV deal, right? Because the Big 12, SEC has the SEC ESPN channel, and Big 10 has the Big 10 network. But like ACC has like Raycom, Jefferson Pilot, and you know how great that was. But like I don't think Big 12
Channel 50.
Well, it doesn't. I think exactly right, and Channel 50. But Texas, I think they were just limited in their TV deal and that shared revenue. Again, like I first see a future again with when you're playing, as you noted, Maryland getting their butts kicked by Ohio State and Michigan every year. It's not. There's going to be a near future where they don't play Ohio State every year,
right?
And they're going to end up playing whatever eventually when Delaware joins the Big Ten.
Yeah. When it's a 20-team conference. I mean, there's so many teams that.
How do you manage that? Like, what do you do?
Well, you go to like the ACC just did this for football, since they have 12 teams, they did this thing where you take your three rivals that you'll play every year, and then the other 10 teams, or they have 14 teams. The other 10 teams you'll play 5 one year, 5 the next, alternate the 5 you play, but you play your rivals every year. So that's a kind of cool idea. So like if you think of. Not that I don't know if Maryland has any rivals in the Big Ten. We just joined. Our rivals are in another conference.
God, I hope our rivals are declared as like Rutgers, Northwestern, and like
bad ones, the ones we can win.
Indiana for the sake
we don't want
of
Michigan
the bottom line. Yeah,
I don't know if they'll do that, but it made sense for the ACC, and it's a way to do it so you keep playing some of your rivals, and that's why they brought Texas and Oklahoma together, two teams that play the Red River rivalry every year, and why they brought USC and UCLA together. I mean, it could have been Oregon and Stanford, but that wouldn't have made as much sense. But I think they wanted the LA market.
Oh, yeah.
And I would hate to be like a USC baseball player or swimmer now. You got to travel
plus you got to play Maryland in baseball, and you're going to get your butt kicked. So it's tough.
That's right. Terps making the regionals and super World Series.
I've never figured out how the college baseball
it might as well be a Venn diagram of calculus to me, because there's the losers bracket, a winners bracket. There's regionals, super regionals, and the World Series. Like, I understand the college basketball tournament, even with play-in games.
You win
that's
or you
easy
lose.
enough. But yeah, the College World Series, I have no idea how it works. I'm with you, Jack.
Yeah, it's like Maryland lost one game and then had to play like 3 doubleheaders in a row to then lose the last one, and then they lost. Like, I don't. Well,
I don't get it.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
You too, man. Yeah.
As I noted, votestevesolomon.com for more information on his campaign. Good luck. Go vote on July 7th or to the 14th or the 19th, whatever makes you happy.
Come out to an early voting place. I'll probably be there trying to get votes and hand out cards. I'll probably be at one of the 3 in our district. It's all day, every day. So.
Well, very good. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate it, and we'll see you later.
You too, man. Yeah.
Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music, like old times.
All right. Thanks again, Steve. Hope you all enjoyed that. And again, Adam, as you may have heard, Steve and I talked about the addition of USC and UCLA to the Big Ten, which makes a whole lot of sense geographically.
I don't like what. I can't wait. Like, again, I cannot wait to see the USC fans' face when they realize that they have to wake up at 8 a.m. to watch USC versus Northwestern.
I just remember, I remember, this is even in the olden days when.
Yes, I know you played Cal. You're gonna, you live in the past.
I'm just saying that's how Maryland had a shot against Cal. Was in their mind it was 7 a.m. or whatever. It was also, ridiculous.
I just don't I don't get. I get it. Every team is basically a whole, just wants to get paid. I get it. You make a lot more money, but if you're a USC fan, it's like what? We're playing Rutgers and
you have no
Iowa?
relationship with Penn State or
cool,
Iowa.
We're playing Rutgers and Iowa. Yeah, it'll be cool. USC playing Michigan, USC playing Ohio State in football. That is cool. Not gonna lie, but great USC Maryland. It's cool for Maryland fans when they come to town. Right? No, it'll be cool for you, but for their fans, it's so now we gotta go cross fucking country to watch my team play.
No, but alternatively, there are some let's say local USC people who've never seen their team before, in a decade.
How many local USC people do you know that live in the Washington D.C. area?
But
shut up.
All I'm saying is, if you haven't seen your school in 20 years, you're gonna check them out.
Okay.
So there might be, even if there's 2,000 USC alums in the D.C. area.
If you think there's 2,000 USC alums.
Let me look it up.
In the
Let me see how many.
Okay. You're an insane human if you think there's 2,000 USC alums. But okay.
I don't know. I'm just curious.
Maybe it's crazy if you think that.
See, USC alumni in the Washington, D.C. Facebook group.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like there's a lot of USC
the
alums.
Facebook group is there's 500 people.
That's a Facebook group.
Okay, there's 700 DC Trojans. All right, so they could maybe rile up 1,000 people to come see the stadium. But then the rest of the stadium's going to be full of Maryland fans, obviously.
Again, it just... I just don't get it.
My concern, here's where I don't get. What are we doing here if in the end we're going to end up with 2 super conferences that have 24 teams in it or something huge?
Yeah,
Aren't we basically reconstituting a different NCAA? It's just its own thing?
That's what it seems like they're doing. It seems like they're going to reconstitute so that the NCAA doesn't exist anymore.
Right. It's essentially you're going to be either winning the... they'll call it the Big Conference and the South Conference, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm just curious what's going to happen to the teams that get left out.
They'll be they'll be the de facto Division 2.
Or they'll be the de facto Power 5, I guess.
They'll be the alternate group.
5.
Well, then they'll have their own group of 60 teams that are nobodies.
It's just so weird, but okay.
Is it
cool.
progress?
I guess I did read today that there's the Big 12 is trying to add 6 teams from the Pac-12.
Yes, I saw that. Yes.
So I guess we're gonna try to have 3 big conferences.
Well, I think the more conferences,
didn't a bunch of teams move to the Pac-12?
Yes, it's a whole shuffling. To me, it's a combination of confusing, and to me, it's I say unnecessary, but in the end, we're gonna end up with. I think we're gonna end up with less good football because you're gonna end up having these mega conferences, and then they're gonna end up doing.
Well, how are they all gonna play? How are they gonna play each other?
So Solly had suggested that you get your 3 or 4 rivalry teams, and then they cycle in. So Maryland would play Rutgers and Penn State every year, but then every third year they would play USC or UCLA. Or whatever.
it just seems, I don't know, man. And like, so how this concerns me is I'm assuming that Florida State will be on the move.
Well, you can't stay in the ACC right now.
No, I don't want to stay
unless
in the ACC.
The ACC goes and picks up like 10 teams.
I didn't want to be in the ACC in the first place. We are not an ACC team.
You're a Big Ten team.
I will say this. You laugh about that, but like the Big Ten should be going after Florida State.
Makes sense.
Like you have where's your footprint? If you're clearly, if like geography doesn't mean shit anymore.
No.
You have no footprint in the South.
Yeah.
You have a footprint in the Midwest, you have a footprint in the East, you have a footprint now apparently in the West. But you don't have one in the South.
Mm-mm.
So like, shouldn't you try to go after Florida State?
I would. 100% I would.
Obviously the two teams, I assume the two teams that both conferences are going to want to go after would be Florida State and Clemson. Those are the two, like, you would imagine, like, I don't think it's Miami. Do you? No. Miami's also they don't draw.
No, it's a private
They don't draw.
school.
Like, one thing you can say about Florida State at least draws, even if they've sucked.
Yeah.
So I would imagine Florida State and Clemson are both going to either end up in the SEC or the Big Ten.
And if I'm the Big Ten, I'd also I'm going to look to connect the dots in Utah with Utah and BYU, and then I also want Notre Dame.
I mean, that's the one that everyone says that. I mean, Notre Dame plays in the Big Ten for like lacrosse, don't they?
Yeah, But then they play in the ACC in basketball. Correct. We got to get. They can't.
And baseball.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense.
They can't stay independent. I think
No, they can't. They got to pick a.
Well, that's why I think there's going to be a bit of a battle for like BYU and Notre Dame.
No, I think BYU's in the Pac-12 now.
Well, they should come to the Big Ten. I want to pick them up because I need a dot to connect me to the West.
Wait, I don't even know who's left in the Big 12 anymore. Like, is Boise State in the Big 12? Didn't they get added?
Not sure.
I thought they did. I'm just.
And then what happens? What do we do with like the service academies, like Air Force Academy and Navy, Army? I
don't know. Like I said, I only care about how this affects my school, and I'm assuming my school will be picked up by one of the two big.
But what if the ACC just turns around and just absorbs like 10 other schools from like a lesser conference? I don't know.
From where?
They pick up UConn.
Oh, fuck off. Shut up. I want UConn. Oh, why don't you pick up Kansas? Idiot.
I mean, everyone loves Kansas. You'd love that for basketball, wouldn't you?
No.
You wouldn't want Kansas for basketball?
I mean, we already have enough basketball.
You would love to see Florida
State. We
already
have the best basketball. Don't we already have to consider the best basketball?
No. Yeah, but at what cost? Do you have to see Duke every year? Ugh, gross.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But anyway, I don't really know how to explain. Like, realignment's just so fucking insane. I don't know. Like, every day or every like week, there's something new, and like, I guess congrats to USC and UCLA. Like, get ready for those big games against Iowa and Minnesota.
Yeah, look. Either way,
who's gonna get excited for you? Like, what UCLA fan is excited? Like, oh, cool, we're playing Minnesota at
in November.
Yeah, in November. It's like we're playing Minnesota. Let me ask you something. What kind of crowd are you getting for USC Minnesota? Even out west, you're not getting anything. You're not getting anything.
I don't know.
Again, how many Maryland fans are making the trip out to fucking Southern California? None.
I'd go to LA for a game.
Up. Stop lying. You would not. Stop lying.
I would say if it's the year is 2026 and Maryland is playing USC, I would consider going to that.
No, you wouldn't.
Why wouldn't I go?
Because you're not going.
Why wouldn't I go?
Fine, Jack.
What else am I doing?
I don't know, but you think this is the most brilliant move ever?
I think, look, Keith Jackson is rolling over in his grave right now.
It just makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
How do bowls happen? Like, who's playing in the big?
Bowls are stupid anyway. Fuck bowls. Bowls are the dumbest thing.
I just can't wait for that. Like, what are we gonna have? Like BYU against Minnesota in the Rose Bowl.
Look, Maryland will finally play in the Rose Bowl because they'll have to just from a regular season schedule.
I think I saw some fake bot was like, everyone should leave, and then Arizona could be like the team that goes 0-12 and still makes the Rose Bowl or something.
Yeah.
Should be the only team left in the Pac-12.
No, they're going to have to do some realigns, but everyone knows that the conceptually the bowl games are dumb. The bowl games were kind of, to me, like a ridiculous cash grab. No one watches most of the bowl games anyway, and do you really care that a team that's like a 6-6 team from the Big Ten is playing a 6-6 team from the Pac-12?
I don't. I'm just, like I said, I am fascinated to see like USC being, like I said, playing like Minnesota and Northwestern.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense. Like,
no.
I get it. You got your money. You got your, you got ahead of the curve. But like,
look, you gotta get on BTN. BTN's where it's at, man. BTN Plus, BTN Plus 2. All the
Network's fine. You're an idiot.
ACC Network is basically Raycom. You can't even watch ACC Network.
Yes, I can.
Oh, you finally got it?
I've had it for like a year.
I know, but for the last decade, you've been complaining ACC Network is unavailable.
For 2 years. It was like 2 years I didn't have it.
Yeah, well, it's a long time to not have the
I
ability
agree.
to watch
It wasn't
your teams.
great. I mean, it wasn't great when we wanted to watch crappy FSU games and they were on ACC Network and I had to follow on my phone like a dum-dum.
The worst feeling, I mean, I know this from experience, but the worst feeling in the world is live streaming the box score to your game, and that's your game experience. The play-by-play.
That's all I could do.
Especially when your team stinks, because you're like watching it. Oh, this isn't so bad. Blocked punt, touchdown, another team or something.
But again, that's all I could do.
I know. But now you can watch it.
It wasn't fun.
Now you can watch the ACC Network for now, and then you have to watch SEC on ESPN or whatever they have their thing.
I think what the SEC is going to, it's going to be SEC Network on ESPN. That sounds about right too. Anyway, so that's that. I mean, I don't know what else is there. Is there anything else?
No, this has been a very long show, so we'll just call it here.
It's been a very long show, you say?
It is, yeah. It's nearly an hour.
All right. Well, what do you want to talk? Okay, so that's it.
I think that's good. I think we can end it there. I mean, we had. I think that was fine. But
all right, then end it.
Again, thanks again for Steve Solomon for being on the show. Appreciate your time, and it was a pleasure having you. And hopefully we'll have you back again in the future. And check him out at votestevesolomon.com. For Adam, this is Jack. This has been the Adam Gravitz Sports Show. Have a great night.
The Adam Gravitz Sports Show.